You're tuning into the 601 Network, Real Jackson News. No fluff, no distractions, just real news for real people for real people. I'm your host, Foresight. And my question today is price gouging at the local convenience stores here in Jackson becoming normal? I'm going to say that one more time. Is price gouging at the local convenience stores here in the city of Jackson becoming normal? Why aren't anybody speaking about this? My next question is, who regulates the prices in these local convenience stores? Who regulate these prices? I mean, does the store owner regulate them, or are they supposed to go by this this a pricing sort of type schedule that all convenience stores? Because years ago I used to work for Pepsi Cola, right, Brown Bottling, here in the city of Jackson, and when I used to go in to stock the coolers with their sodas, right? They had this we handed them this sheet on what they were supposed to sell their sodas for, right? So I'm wondering if Frito-Lay or any other product that they hold have those types of standards where they show exactly what they're supposed to sell it for. Because even when I used to work for Louvel too, and we did the same thing too. Say this right here was for this price, this right here, and they had to sell it at that price, right? But we would give them a fair. It would be fair for them because they will buy a bunch of ice cream and stuff like that, whatever, and we fill the boxes up. So I mean, okay, so does that rule set for all of the product in the stores? Because they are price gouging like a son of a gun with cigarettes, beer products, soda products, all different types of products that the local residents go in and purchase. And then they have this thing where you go in and you go in and you make your groceries, whatever your groceries you're gonna make in the local convenience store. You get it all, put it up all on the shelf, and then you get to that sucker, and you get ready to swipe your card, and it don't work. And then the voice comes and says, "No, you have to pay some cash. This machine doesn't work." Come on, Jacksonians, y'all know what I'm talking about. And anybody outside the city of Jackson that views this video knows what I'm talking about too. They be fronting. A lot of them be fronting. They know that them card machines don't work, but they set them there anyway, think you're going to swipe, and they want to get you to pay cash. So you're going to go over to the ATM machine, but I bet you that joke will work. And you're going to put your card in. They're going to get a fee for it. Of course, they're going to get a fee. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get a fee for the ATM machine. So you're going to get the cash, you're going to come back, and you're going to pay them their cash money. You're going to pay them their cash. That's all it is. They running a scam too. They running a scam. Some of them are honestly, some of them machines probably do be out. But I don't doubt that majority of them, they fronting. they putting on a front to get you to pay cash because they don't want to deal with the paperwork of getting their money. They say, yeah, we're gonna set this thing up with the EBTs and stuff like that, but then at the same time they'll tell you it ain't working, so they can get you to spend their bread because they're gonna put in them ATM machines. You're gonna walk over there to the ATM machine, pay that little fee, boom, 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 swipe your card, pay the fee, and get your bread and get the bread out, and go in and pay for that product, and they're gonna get their fee. But they gonna get their fee. They're gonna get their fee immediately, cause they're gonna cut the ATM machine company gonna cut them a check off the rip. I know how that crap works. My man runs an ATM machine up top in New York. He got a whole slew of ATM machines. And then he ran it down to me how it works. They get their bread. For those of you who do not understand what bread means, it means money. Federal Reserve notes, FRNs, ducats, esquilla, scratch, whatever you want to call it, like the song said, is all that. Point being, what we doing here? What the hell is we doing? What is we doing? No control over the community. Our children goes in the summer months, spring months, want to buy a bag of potato chips or something, and they go in there, it's hot, want to buy juice, something. They looking at them, acting like they're going to steal something. Now, let me say this. Let me be fair, because I do believe in fairness. I do believe in equity. Some of them do have, we talking about Indian folk, and I'm not finna say, I ain't finna gonna be sugarcoating, saying them, they, and, I'm not finna do none of that. Them Indian people, they do have some type of relationships with some of the people that comes through there and buy all the time. Because I know one of them had a relationship with one of my family members. Knew them by their name and everything. So, my thing is this. But do you have it with the community? See, having a relationship with an individual doesn't mean you got a relationship with the community. Now, my suggestion is, I said it once, I said it twice. So I said it twice on Sunday. It don't make no difference to me. You need to be engaged with the community by attending these neighborhood meetings, and not coming in there as some victim. You coming in there with concerns and what could be done better. Now, let me say this. If you do, people care about you more because you care about them. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of folks. I know why they don't show up. I know why them folks show up. Because there's a lot of folks, they want something for nothing. A lot, especially our people, black folks. We want something for them. We see them in the, oh, you in the meeting, yeah. Now you think you're in there, they in there, they think you're gonna just give them something for free. And that's how they think. They think if I go out here and I engage, that they're gonna want me to give them something for free. But that's not the entire mentality of us. That's just with some people. Because I'm quite sure there's a lot of people that walks in that store want something for free. Oh man, you can't let me get this for this amount of price. Nah man, I'm running a business here. I'm not running a freaking charity, bro. I gotta make a profit here so I can constantly keep helping being a value to the community. So me giving you something for half price off is gonna hurt me. I mean, I gotta come out of pocket to help you, to foot your bill. No, I ain't finna do that. But I digress. you know, but this price gouging thing that these Indian folk do, because that's the majority of the people that's in the black communities here. Because I'm like just like from right here in Jane Avenue, right there in Jane Avenue, right, the Jane Avenue convenience store, right there, Jane Avenue in Bobby Rush. Yo, they be price gouging. And I am quite sure that there are other convenience stores around the city that do the same darn thing. But nobody's talking about it. You got a convenience store right down there on Lindsay. Lindsay and Jane Avenue haven't been open for months. Ain't nobody wanted to snatch that store. And you got a high end load of traffic coming through there. Jane Avenue and Lindsay. You got the traffic coming in. That store been open for long as I know. I was little. So what I'm saying is that it's up to us, black folks. We gotta get control of our communities. We can't depend on somebody else to come do it. Somebody black should be getting that store. I promise you, if I had my eyesight, I would. If I had my eyesight, I would try to get that store. I mean, I'm not using my eyesight as an excuse. Well, maybe it sounds like that, but you know, it's a lot involved. Many of you know what's up. Many of you business owners understand. You know what I'm saying? But I would. I would grab that. You know what I'm saying? I would, but I wouldn't run. But me personally, I wouldn't run it. I would have somebody else run it. You know, but this is my contribution right here. My contribution is not a grocery store or a convenience store. I don't have those types of desires. I'm just gonna be real with you. I don't have those type of desires. My contribution is right here, putting out content for people and putting out the information that people ain't talking about. That's my contribution to the community. Period. You know, and so what is your contribution? What is your contribution? Is your contribution complaining, or is your contribution getting up, doing something about what you're supposed to be doing in terms of helping out your community? You know what I'm saying? You gotta get control of your community. You go over to Rankin County, you go over to Madison. I promise you, none of that junk goes on over there. None of that junk goes on. I was sitting there looking at a board of supervisors, the board of supervisors meeting over there in Rankin County, and I see how smooth they work with no problems and issues. You have folks, they got issues, but the way they conduct it, man, please, literally hunky dory, straight hunky dory. But we don't have that type of control over our community because we always worried about what another person is getting, and that right there, that's what stagnates the process. Well, the process and eliminates the progress. Because you stagnate the process, you eliminate the progress. Crabs in a bucket. Crabs in the bucket. I got family members like that. Crabs in the bucket. You have to understand. You got to get control of your community. Because like I said, these Indian folk that come here and they get these stores, they don't care nothing about us. Hell, they don't even live in our neighborhoods. What is that about? They don't even live in the neighborhoods. They don't live in the neighborhoods where they work, where their stores are. They don't. They be living out in Clinton, and they live out in other places. And let me say this. I'm cool with that. I'm good. I ain't really, complaining too much about that. My thing is that if you got if you live somewhere else and you got your convenience store uh, in a neighborhood somewhere else from outside from where you live, wouldn't it be more helpful to your business to be involved with the neighborhood? Get involved. Show your face. If you don't do nothing but go there and show up. Hey, y'all know me. I'm so and so from down the street. I'm just here listening. I'm just listening and seeing what's going on in the neighborhood. Bring some of your culture to the neighborhood. Bring some of your culture to the neighborhood. Bring some of your, have some input. Because you do have input. You're part of the community. You got a community store. So you do have input. You help the community thrive when the big box stores or the big supermarkets, when, late night when they're closed. If the store up the street if the big box store up the street is closed, your store is still open, you're gonna get that business. You're gonna get that business in the morning when people are trying to go to work and they just need a cup of coffee. You're gonna get that business when the kids is walking to the store from right around the corner from where the store is located. The kids walking around the corner. You're gonna get that business. So this is the reason why it's important for you to be involved. And I'm really hoping that the Indian community is listening. I'm really hoping that they listen because it's important. We all have problems. But we're going to have problems. We all need to have problems together so we can get them resolved. So, it just like, I'm going to give you an example. I did a video about the fate of the grocery stores, right? So if you're viewing this video, go back and watch that. And I made a statement about how one of the big grocery stores out there in South Jackson closed down, Food Depot. And when the city came to them and said, "Hey, would you mind? We set up some cameras at your grocery store." They said it was too late. We closing down. You're not even trying to reach out to the. See, this is what I'm saying. Closed mouth don't get fed. You're not trying to be a part of the community to know what things is beneficial to you in your business. See, the city of Jackson have a command center, right? They have a command center where if you purchase your camera inside your store, outside your store, purchase your camera, put it online because you got internet, put it online, and they hook it up to their command center, and that right there deters the crime. A lot of people don't even know that. I was looking at the city council when they was talking about grocery stores and stuff, and one of the fellow over at the Save a Lot or Woodrow Wilson, he said he didn't even know that they had a command center, that the command center does that. For them to set up they'll set up, you buy the camera, set it up, get it set up and everything, and they'll monitor it. Man, come on. They'll roll that mess back to see what happened. It's not like somebody's just sitting there looking at the camera, oh man, no. Let it roll. Let it roll. Something happens, they're gonna go play it back. Oh, we know who that was. We got that subject, no doubt. We know this. We know that suspect was. We got that suspect. We know who it was. Okay, we got him. We're gonna go get them. But a lot of you local convenience stores don't even know that that's a benefit to you. Purchase the camera, and they'll and set it up, and they'll come in and they'll and hook it up to the command center, and you ain't got to worry about monitoring anything on your phone. See, they're doing that's beneficial to your business. They want you here in the city of Jackson. They're trying to deter this crime, but you got to give them a chance. I ain't seen nothing like it. I ain't seen nothing like. I think that's a wonderful thing. I used to work security, and I think that that's a wonderful thing. You got a command center that's going to monitor the grocery stores and the convenience stores. Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. I'm not saying that should be the only thing, because we could hire more security personnel, people on with boots on the ground. We could hire boots on the ground. Yeah, no doubt. But we got to start somewhere, and that's a good place to start. Homeowners, goes for you too. Homeowners too. Some go down, boom, boom. They can play it back. So, but I'm looking at problems, but I'm also looking at solutions. I'm not sitting here going on this tangent, just based on, the folk, Indian folk price gouging in these stores. Yes, that is a problem. And in going back to that, the solution is we as a community need to get together and find out who these folks is, and find out how do we get and talk to our local council, our local council for that ward where that store is located, and talk to them and tell them, say, hey, the grocery store on such and such street is price gouging. And find out who do we need to talk to that regulates commerce. That's a solution, because they needs to be regulated. Because you got some rinky dinky business people out here that they just, all they care about is get their money and going, and that's that. They just as grimy as the folks that walk up in the store that they claim that are grimy. Anytime when a hard working 9 to 5 will come up in that store and order them a cup of coffee, and you charge 50 cents a cup of coffee, and then when they come up in there now it's $1, and then later on down the line it's 50 cents again. Then they come back up, somebody else come in at 75 cents. Give me a break. Somebody needs to be in there regulating commerce. Who do we talk to? Ask yourself that question before. Who do we need to talk to regulate this mess so we can clean it up? Because I believe that it can be cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? It's just that nobody is saying anything about it. It's been real. I hope that this video has been enlightening. I hope I've given you some valuable things to think about. I am your host, Foresight. This is the 601 Network. Real Jackson News. I want to thank you for watching. I will be posting some more videos as time goes on. I will be posting more and more and more. So stay tuned, and And y'all be safe here in the city of Jackson, and stay encouraged.